Welcome back, everyone. Back again for this is series 106. Out of the Park Baseball 20 is our host, and we are going back into baseball history and pulling teams out for our enjoyment and some random exciting matchups in the best of seven series. And as we do this, a lot of times we get teams that are lost in history, forgotten, non-competitive. Well, that's part of the fun. But the other part of the fun of doing things randomly is all of a sudden you get one of the all-time greats, and they come out of nowhere, and you got a matchup that is just very mouth-watering and very exciting. And this is one of those times. The random generator gives us none other than the Big Red Machine, the 1975 Cincinnati Reds, who won 108 games in 1975. Iconic offense and lineup, led by Sparky Anderson. A lot of the Hall of Fame names you're well aware of. Johnny Bench in many circles considered the best catcher of all time. He's in his prime here, 28 home runs, 110 RBIs. Tony Perez, another Hall of Famer. Dave Concepcion brings his glove. The great Pete Rose at third base hit .317 this season, 112 runs. And Joe Morgan led the team in WAR. He stole 67 bases, scored 107 runs, 94 RBIs, on base at a .466 clip. Other stars like Ken Griffey, George Foster, just a phenomenal lineup. They scored 840 runs. They're called the Big Red Machine for a reason. And just a lot of excitement and anticipation, I should say, to randomly pull a team like this for our next matchup. Pitching staff didn't have to be the greatest ever because of the offense they had, but Gary Nolan won 15 games, Jack Billingham 15 games, ERA is not bad. Fred Norman and Don Gullett, both only losing 4 times, and Raleigh Eastwick was used by Sparky in 58 games, 22 saves, as well as saves for a number of other relievers, even though the pen is not deep, but can't say enough about the 1975 Reds. Definitely an argument that we're going to see the greatest team of all time. So the question is, who did they get in a draw, and who's going to be the unlucky team? And it is the 1915 Washington Senators. The extremely interesting thing about these Senators is the presence of Walter Johnson. So you have all of a sudden one of the greatest offenses of all time going up against one of the greatest, if not the greatest pitcher of all time. And in 1915, if I can spell Senators right, the Senators and Johnson were pretty good. They won 85 games, lost 68. And Johnson especially was in his prime. Johnson won 27 games with an unbelievable ERA of 1.55. He even saved 4 games. Struck out 203 men in that day, a phenomenal number. So Johnson, at his absolute best, only allowed 58 earned runs all year long. The Senators on offense, there's Chick Gandil with 20 doubles there, 64 RBIs, 20 steals at 291. Definitely a nice player. Clyde Milan, 288. 66 RBIs, scored 83 runs. Looking at the rest of the offense, not the strongest. Eddie Foster had 25 doubles, 10 triples, slug that had an OPS of .66. But again, no big names on offense. That should scare a lot of people. The team was anchored around Johnson. Behind him, Bert Galea, a good season. Also went 17 and 11 with a very nice ERA. Joe Boyling got 32 starts, 229 innings. He had a winning record. Some other arms in there: Jim Shaw, Doc Evers, Joe Engel. So maybe not the most household names on the Senators, but I think it's very intriguing that they are going to face the Reds with the great Hall of Fame ace Walter Johnson, as most likely facing them twice in the series. So it could not get more difficult for Walter Johnson to face an offense like this. Also, it'll be interesting to see how the Reds respond to facing Johnson. So the series is ready to go. We got two winning teams, some all-time greats. Wonderful draw to start here with the 1915 Senators visiting in Games 1 and Game 2 the 75 Reds. And Game 1, of course, Walter Johnson will be on the hill against the Big Red Machine, and Don Gullett will take the hill for the Reds. So great anticipation. This is what we wait for, the greats going up against each other. And Walter Johnson, if he can shut down the Reds, he can shut down anybody, and I wouldn't put it past them. So let's head out live to Game 1 of this best of 7. Walter Johnson taking on the 1975 Reds at Riverfront Stadium. So here we go to the action. Game 1. We got Walter Johnson with a bat in his hands at the plate against Don Gullett. Nobody out here in the third inning. No score. Gullett delivers, and Johnson swings and hits it hard. The center, that's going to get down, and it's the first Washington hit by Walter Johnson, who doubles. He's known for swinging the bat a little bit, and he comes through here with a leadoff double in the third inning, and now Gullett's got to face Clyde Milan here. Lefty swings and hits it deep to right. That ball's got carry. That ball's going to go. Home run, Clyde Milan. It's a 2-run shot. Johnson will cross the plate, and the Senators jump out in front here 2-0. That might be the insurance and all that Johnson needs as he takes the mound, and a great start here. Wouldn't you know it, we move all the way ahead to the 9th inning, and exactly that, fans. Walter Johnson has a shutout here in the 9th inning, yet to allow a run. He's still in the game, and we got Cesar Geronimo up with 2 on. It is 8-0. And Johnson comes sidearm and gets Geronimo on strike 3. What a pitch. Beautiful K by Johnson, and that's his 9th of the game. We're going to move now with 2 outs to Concepcion. The pitch, this one's drilled to second, but right there's the second baseman. Throwing time, Morgan makes it, and that will do it. Game 1 is in the books, and the huge story, of course, none other than Walter Johnson, the big train, shutting out the 1975 Reds. Many consider one of the best offenses in the game's history. He does it without issuing a walk. He strikes out 9, goes the distance in the shutout. Johnson proving he is one of the best of all time at his craft. Clyde Milan, 2 for 5. He hit that early home run in the 3rd inning. Danny Moeller, who went 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. 9 hits for the Reds, but none of them crossed the plate. Gullett takes the loss. And again, Walter Johnson, if you can shut down this Big Red Machine, you got to tip your hat to one of the all-time greats. And even more important, he gives these Senators a surprise 1-0 lead here in the series. And we're now going to prepare for Game 2. Game 2 is going to be contested again at Riverfront Stadium, as the Reds are going to try to recover from scoring no runs in Game 1. You know they're itching to get back to the plate against someone other than Johnson. And here's Pete Rose. We are in the bottom of the 3rd. Doc Ayers on the mound. 2 outs for Rose. Rose will drill this one to left, just what they needed. There's a run around in 3rd. He's going to score, and Pete Rose gets the Reds on the board first. Their first run not only in this game, but in the series. If he scores on the play, and it is 1-0 as we move to the 5th. Darcy pitching to George McBride. And McBride goes down the line and left. That's going to be extra bases. Here comes a runner to 3rd. He's going to try to score, and McBride ties this game with an RBI double. It is 1-1 now here in the 5th inning. Senators come right back. And the pitcher, Ayers, now up there against Darcy. He takes ball 4. Not something you want to do there. Definitely don't want to be walking the pitcher. Here's Clyde Milan. Milan goes up the middle. This is played by Concepcion. He goes the short way to second. So the Reds get out of that threat. The game's still 1-0. I'm sorry, the game's still 1-1 as we move to the sixth. Howie Shanks facing Darcy now. Lead out the inning, and he lines it to right. That's a base hit. So the Senators still battling here. Still getting outstanding pitching. Kendall now at the plate. And he'll lift the pop up here. Rose is going to know it. Ball drops. And the throw to first is not going to be a time. I thought Rose might be able to make that play, but the ball just dropped in front of him. He tried to throw Gandil out. Couldn't get there in time. And now the Senators with that infield hit got runners first and second for Danny Moeller. Nobody out. And this one's lifted to right. Should be played there. Griffey's got it. Here's the throw to third, going to be late. So 1 out, runners on the corners for John Henry. 1-1 tie. Henry's going to line this one to deep center field. On the run out, there's the center fielder. He's got it. Geronimo makes the play and gets the ball in a hurry. The run does not score, so a nice play by Geronimo in center field. Darcy now facing Eddie Foster to try to get out of the inning, but Foster lines it just over Joe Morgan's head. That's an RBI single here in the sixth inning. A clutch hit by Foster. It's now 2-1 Washington. And Ray Morgan now at the plate. Darcy walks him, and the bases are loaded here with 2 outs in the sixth inning. Senators have already taken the lead. George McBride at the plate in a big chance. And he lines a single past Concepcion. 1 run in. Here comes another one. Gonna be safe. It is 4-1 Senators. A 2-run single by George McBride, and the stunned Riverfront Stadium crowd looking on. We go to the 8th inning. It's all Senators 4-1. Joe Bowling pitching, and this one's drilled by Griffey to try to make some noise here in the 8th inning. He gets a double. So a leadoff double. Trying to get the engine started here on the Big Red Machine. Here's Pete Rose, who drove in the only run for the Reds today, and he lines a single there to left. That's going to get through. Here comes Griffey. Ball cut off. RBI single for Pete Rose, his second RBI of the game. Gets the Reds a little bit closer here with nobody out. Joe Morgan now hitting. Morgan hits it down the left field line. That ball just fair. Rose is going to head to third. He's going to round and try to score. No throw to the plate. Joe Morgan brings the Reds within 1, and it looks like the Red Machine is started up here, and Johnny Bench has a chance to tie the game or better. Nobody out still in the 8th inning. Bench will hit this one to center, but that's playable. Catch is made there. Milan draws it in. George Foster in a crucial spot now. Foster takes ball 4 as Sam Rice walks him. Rice coming in out of the pen. 2 on, 1 out. Cesar Geronimo at the plate. George Dumont is the new pitcher. This is hit past the first baseman. It's a base hit. Run around third, throw cut off. The Reds have done it. They fought back to tie this game at 4. Cesar Geronimo, a big clutch base hit here, and we are tied up now. The runners now have advanced, and we got the bases loaded for Dave Concepcion. Still only 1 out. Lamont trying to get out of this jam. This one's hit the first. Play made at first. Back again to first base. He is out. A double play. Brilliant play, a 3-1-3. I don't know how often we've seen that, folks. A 3-1-3 double play to end the inning. Great defense by the Senators just when they needed it, but the Reds do fight back. They probably thought they should have more, but it's a 4-4 tie in a new ball game. Here in the 9th, George McBride now at the plate, and Raleigh Eastwick has come in for the home side. Try to hold the game right there, and he strikes out McBride on a nice sinker there. Clyde Milan now at the plate, 1 or 2 outs, I should say. And this is hit a squibber to Rose. He comes in hard. There will be no play. Another infield hit. Rose playing back, trying to avoid the extra base hit, and the infield single is the result by Clyde Milan. And here's Howie Shanks in a big spot, and he drills one. That's going to get down the right. Run around second. He's heading for third. They're going to hold him at third as Geronimo does an excellent job to get the ball back in. They didn't want to risk it. Wondering if they'll second guess that, but it's all now up to Danny Moeller, who's had the bases loaded with 2 outs. Tie game. Here's the pitch to Moeller. This is hit on the ground. Play is going to be made by Eastwick. He makes it. And the Reds get out of this jam in the 9th. Eastwick sweating it out with a ground ball right back to him. And the play is made. We'll move to the bottom of the 9th after a sigh of relief by the home team. Dumont still in the game, facing Dan Andreessen to lead off the 9th inning. Andreessen walks. So the dreaded leadoff walk to Dan Andreessen, who pinch hit. And here's Ken Griffey Sr. now. High game. Dumont delivers. Ball 4. Senior is on first base, and a nightmare here by Dumont as he's walked the first 2 men. The winning run on second. Nobody out. Here's Pete Rose. Big spot for Rose. And this is hit to second. Play's going to be made there. Relay to first. Double play. 4-6-3. The Senators turn it. Dreesen heads to third, but a big 2 outs here. Joe Morgan has walked, and with 2 outs, Joe Engel has come into the game in relief to face Johnny Bench. They still got a base open, so what they do with Bench, but Bench a chance to win it. Runners on the corners. Here's the pitch from Engel. This ball's drifted to right. Will it drop? It will. It will. Johnny Bench with a bloop. Single just inside the foul line, and the Reds celebrate as they take game 2. They fight back. 3 runs in the 8th, and a Johnny Bench improbable bloop hit that scores Dan Dreesen. Fans going crazy. This series tied at 1. Doc Ayers was the pitcher that started it off for the Senators. Definitely didn't finish it. George McBride, a big game, 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Pete Rose got the Red Machine going with the first 2 RBIs, but they showed a lot of grit and heart to come back there in the 8th inning. And then Wally Eastwick with an excellent job in the 9th to get out of a jam. Then it was all up to fate, it would seem, as Bench got the hit that brought in Dreesen. And the Reds, a much, much needed win after their loss in Game 1, even things up at 1 apiece. As we head now to Washington, a lot of excitement here in these first 2 games. I anticipate this now best-of-5 series will continue to entertain us. Game 3, Fred Norman taking the mound for the visiting Reds against Jim Shaw, who will be the man of the moment for the Senators, who try now to continue their bid to upset the Reds. And looming a few games later will be Walter Johnson. So let's see what happens now in the crucial Game 3 from Griffith Stadium. So here we are, game number 3. Ray Morgan facing Gary Nolan with 2 men on. This ball shot into near center field, and Concepcion is there to make a nice play. He was positioned quite well there. And here's Howie Shanks now. And Shanks is going to take it back up the middle. This one will get through, however, and that's going to possibly play to run. Here comes the throw, not in time. And Washington takes a 1-0 lead here in the 3rd inning. We'll move to the 5th with Nolan now up at the plate with Concepcion on first, and Nolan will put down a bunt. It's a good one. Rush play will be made at first in time. Runner will move to second. He's the tying run. Here's Ken Griffey Sr., and this ball's hit past the second baseman. Here comes Concepcion. Throw to the plate's going to be close. Concepcion, though, gets in, and it is a 1-1 tie. The Reds tie it up here, and here comes Joe Morgan with Griffey on second. And Morgan lines a single to center. That's going to drop Griffey round in third. He's going to come around. And the Reds will take the lead here in Game 3, 2-1 in the fifth inning. We'll move bottom of the sixth. John Henry at the plate. Washington down 1. And Henry goes deep to left. This ball is way back. Look up and gone. John Henry, a long solo home run to tie this ball game. Griffith Stadium gets on its feet as Henry ties the game up. We'll move to the eighth now. Joe Morgan up against Sam Rice. There's ball 4, so Morgan will get on first base here. But we move a little bit further ahead here. George Foster up with nobody on. And Foster will line a single up the middle for a hit here in the eighth inning. With 1 out, Johnny Bench the hitter. Joe Engel the new pitcher, and there is a strikeout. So Engel gets Bench swinging. We'll move now bottom 8. Howie Shanks is up there. And there's a shot into the right field corner. Shanks is going to make it all the way to second here with a double. 1 out double by Shanks. So the Senators now with the chance to take the tie. Will McKinney pitching to Danny Moeller, 2 on. McKinney tries the pickoff move there on second. Moeller in a big spot, only 1 out. And he strikes out. McKinney gets him there. A big strikeout. They'll bring up John Henry, who's already homered with 2 outs. And Henry will go up the middle. That ball is past Morgan. Here comes the go-ahead run. The throw's cut off, and the Senators go up 3-2 on the Henry RBI single. We'll move 9th inning now. George Dumont in to try to close things out. Here's Geronimo. 3-2 game. There's a strikeout by Dumont. He'll get Geronimo chasing on that pitch. Dave Concepcion now at the plate. And the same result. Concepcion strikes out. Dumont looking sharp. And the last chance here for the Reds is Marv Redmond. Dumont winding delivers. Striking out the side. He gets the job done. And the Senators get the job done. They go up 2-1 with a dramatic 1-run win here in Game 3. Harry Harper pitched well, went into the 7th inning, and Gary Nolan also pitched well, but neither were part of the decision. And John Henry hit a home run to tie the game, hit a single to give the Senators the lead in the 8th inning. Good performance. Dumont struck out the side in the 9th inning. And more importantly, the Senators now lead the Reds 2-1, putting all the pressure back on Cincinnati. Back and forth the series goes. And the only place we go now is Game 4. Crucial here for Sparky Anderson's team. They want to get back in this series. They really need this ball game with Walter Johnson scheduled to pitch the next one. They really need to win this. Let's get to the action. Eddie Foster up, bottom of the 1st inning, man on. Foster lines one into the corner in right field. This will be extra bases, and it looks like it will put the Senators up first in this game as Foster triples in a run. That ball just fair. And Washington up 1-0 here. We'll move to the 4th inning. Joe Morgan at the plate with Griffey on second. Morgan will line this one deep to left. This ball's over the left fielder's head, and this is going to tie the game at 1. Joe Morgan with a 1-out double. That scores Griffey, and we're now tied at 1 in this ball game. We'll move to the 5th. Tony Perez facing Jim Shaw with nobody out, and Perez goes up the middle. That ball will get through. Geronimo will make it to 3rd. And Dave Concepcion now at the plate. Concepcion deep to center. That ball's going to get all the way to the wall. 1 run in. Here comes another run around in 3rd. It's going to be a 2-run double by Concepcion, and it is now 3-1 Reds as they get a crucial RBI double here from their shortstop. 4-1 now, bottom sixth. We got Clyde Milan on second. Howie Shanks at the plate. Shanks takes ball 4 here as Fred Norman can't find the zone. Eddie Foster a big chance here. He's the tying run, and Foster will go up the middle. That ball's past Joe Morgan. Runner around in third. He's going to score. It is 4-2. The Senators coming right back, and he's Danny Muller. Pitch is lined deep to right. This has got a chance at the wall. The pitch is made by Griffey. Just a few feet away from leaving the yard. But the catch is made. Runner advances. We got runners now on the corners. 1 out for Chick Gandil. Fred Norman still pitching. 4-2 ball game. Gandil in a big spot. This is ball 4, so the drama gets lifted even higher now as the bases are loaded. For John Henry, the man who's come through time and time again, he hits this one to short. Concepcion, a nice play, comes home. Dave Concepcion with a nice charging play to get the man at the plate and keep the Senators 2 runs down. Nice play by the shortstop. 2 outs now for Ray Morgan. Here's the pitch. Again, hit the short. Concepcion's going to go to first. What another nice play. He backhanded that ball. And Concepcion's glove is saving the Reds here. The game remains 4-2, 5-2 now. Howie Shanks up bottom of the 7th. Clay Carroll has come on. This ball's hit up the middle. That's a base hit. So 2 men on, 2 out here. It's a 5-2 game. Tying run coming to the plate, and Eddie Foster. Foster will hit this one to second. Morgan has it, however. He'll make the play, and the 3-run lead remains intact for the Reds, who really need this ball game. George Foster now here in the 8th inning, facing Jack Conley. Foster will line this one into the gap. That's going to go for extra bases. Foster rounding first. He's over the second with a double. So the Reds looking for insurance. And they will get their insurance. It's 7-2 in the 9th inning. Rip Williams up with runners on second and third. Tom Carroll, the pitcher. This one's to short. Concepcion will concede the run for the out. Run will score. It is 7-3 now. And here's Shanks with 2 outs. Pitch is made. Play made again a third, and it is in time. The Reds bounce back as well and win game number 4, 7-3. This series is now tied at 2. Back and forth we go. Fred Norman gets the win in this one. Concepcion very good with the glove, but also went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. And Griffey Sr. also had an RBI and 2 runs scored. The 7-3 win ties this series at 3. It is now a best of 3, and all of the intrigue continues here as we move to game number 5, and it's going to be Walter Johnson after his shutout in game 1, coming back to pitch here in game 5. Don Gullett will oppose him. But can the Reds get to Walter Johnson, who was magnificent the first time out? And this is a crucial, crucial game. Just when the Senators need him, it's Johnson time. The big train taking the mound against the big red machine. Something's got to give. So let's head out live to Griffith Stadium. Game 5 series tied. And Walter Johnson trying to do it again as the Senators try to take the lead on the Reds before they head back to Cincinnati for Game 6. Let's see what happens. So here we go, game number 5. Clyde Milan at the plate. He'll lead it off. Milan's going to go deep to right. This ball's got a chance to go just over the wall. Clyde and Milan with the solo home run here in the first inning. The Senators get up 1-0 very early. And now Ray Morgan has a chance with 2 out and nobody on, and Morgan's going to put a shot here in the 1, but this could be 2, a double play started by Concepcion. 6-4-3. Runner moves to third. He won't score, so we'll move bottom of the 4th. Johnson dealing again, and Gullett trying to match him pitch for pitch. Here's Danny Moeller. Moeller goes deep to right. This ball's way back, and it's going to hit against the wall. Moeller's got a chance for 3, a 1-out triple here for Moeller. He gets in there. And here's Tony Perez now as it's 3-0. Washington. Johnson might just have enough. Perez, though, pushes this one in the right field with a man on. It's going to be runners on the corners here for the Reds. Can they break through against Johnson? There's 2 on with nobody out here in the 5th inning. Dave Concepcion at the plate. Concepcion goes to short. That's going to be a force out at second. They can't get 2, and the run will score. It's 3-1. The Reds get on the board against Walter Johnson. We'll move to the 6th with Pete Rose leading off the inning. Johnson still a 2-run lead. And Rose goes hard into right field. He's not intimidated. Charlie Hustle working in the 2nd. And it's a double, but the score remains 3-1. We're in the 7th. Cesar Geronimo facing Walter Johnson. Geronimo will go up the middle. This is going to get through for a leadoff single by Geronimo. So the Reds will bring up the tying run. Tony Perez against Johnson. There's a bunt. Perez is bunting, believe it or not. Wow. And the play's going to be made there. So Sparky Anderson pulling out all kinds of stops here. But it's 1st and 2nd now for Ken Griffey with 2 outs. Johnson delivers. Griffey lifts this one to right. Way back there, but it's going to be caught. Moeller has it, and the 2-run advantage remains as we move to the stretch. And now the 8th inning, Johnson facing Pete Rose. 3-1 ball game. The big train still pitching well. Rose seems to have his number as Rose gets a single here to left field. So Pete Rose playing well. He's the tying run now. Joe Morgan at the plate. Morgan will hit this one to second. Play's going to be made at second. No double play, however, as Morgan beats out the throw. So there's 1 out for Johnny Bench. And they've taken out Johnson. Jack Bentley has come in. A surprise move here. And there's a fly ball to the left. That should be playable. So with 2 out now here in the 8th inning, we move to the bottom of the frame. John Henry up there with 1 out. It's 3-1. And this one's hit deep to center. That's going to get over the center fielder's head. So Henry with 1 out continues his good series. He doubles here. Here comes Geronimo, and we'll go to the 9th inning as that double did not pan out for the Senators. And we're down to the 9th inning now. Jack Bentley has a chance to close this game out, facing Cesar Geronimo in the 9th inning. Geronimo, however, will go past the first baseman for a base hit. So Cincinnati not giving up so easy. Here comes Tony Perez against Bentley. Perez lines one up the middle. That's a base hit. So 1st and 2nd, nobody out. The Reds have the tying runs on the bases. And Concepcion, who's always been clutch, is at the plate. He lines 1 to right. On the run to make the play there is Moeller. He makes a nice running catch up near the warning track and the wall. Actually, it looks like there is no warning track here at Griffith Stadium. A little bit before that was invented, I think. In any event, here's Marv Retterman, 1 out. Runners on 1st and 3rd. The pitch, and this is lined deep to right. This has got a chance. It is caught, however. Tag and score. So a very deep drive by the red pinch hitter, but it just couldn't get out of the yard. That big wall out there is harder to get across than it would seem, and it is now 3-2. 2 outs. Ken Griffey Sr., the final chance here as Jack Bentley delivers. And this one is hit down the line, a fair ball. Just fair down the right field line. Let's see if the Reds send the man home. They're going to send him. Here comes the throw. Not in time. Safe. Safe. The Reds have tied the game with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Ken Griffey Sr. with a shot down the right field line and scoring on the play. And now Pete Rose has a chance to actually give the Reds the lead. Let's see if he can do it. Rose will line this one. What a diving stop there to save a run. It's an infield hit, but McBride diving, putting his body up to stop it from getting into the outfield. So the game will remain tied here. Joe Morgan at the plate, 2 outs. Bentley struggling. He walks Morgan. So the bases are loaded. The Reds have made a heck of a comeback here. And Johnny Bench up there with 2 outs. Bentley still continues to pitch. There is strike 3. Johnny Bench didn't like the call. He looked at strike 3, however, leaves the bases loaded. We move bottom of the 9th now, all tied at 3. Raleigh Eastwick's the new pitcher. Rip Williams at the plate, and Williams will hit this one to right field. Making the play out there's Griffey. 2 outs now. Eastwick delivers. Jenks will hit this one to center. That should be playable. It's actually popped up here and easy for Concepcion. So it's going to be extra innings here in Game 5. We move to the 10th. George Foster facing Joe Engel. Foster will hit this back to the mound. Engel makes the play there. 1 out for Geronimo. Geronimo hits it back to the mound. Engel another play. That's not going to be in time, however. Geronimo gets the infield hit. The 12th Reds hit. Here's Tony Perez. Perez with a shot. That's in the gap. Ball gets down. Runner headed for third. He's going to try to score. Here's the throw to third. It is not in time, and the Reds, via Tony Perez, take the lead here on a triple with 1 out. It is 4-3. What a big comeback by the Reds here, and now they got a chance to take the lead in the series. It is 4-3 as Raleigh Eastwick tries to close it out. Eddie Foster at the plate. Foster, however, checks his swing. He'll get on with the leadoff walk here in the 10th inning. Kenny Moeller at the plate. Tom Carroll, the new pitcher. This one's hit to second. Runner was moving, so they only have a play at first. Foster on second base. Gandil at the plate in a big spot. Gandil takes the walk. So first and second, 1 out. Reds trying to close the door. John Henry at the plate. Henry will hit this one on a shot. Concepcion will have it, but he'll have no play. So the bases will be loaded. Fasten your seatbelts here as we have the infield coming in. Ray Morgan at the plate. It's a 1-run game. Morgan will hit this one too short. The play is going to be made at home. Concepcion does it again. So 2 outs. George McBride, the last chance here for the home team. Bases loaded. And there it is. Ball 4. The Reds can't believe it wasn't called a strike, and McBride is walked. The tying run has crossed the plate. What a borderline call there. We're tied at 4 again. Oh, Judge has come in now. Try to win it. Judge hits it to first, however. Play's going to be made there. Perez makes it. So Washington comes right back to score in the 10th. We're going to the 11th, all tied up at 4. Boiling has come in the pitch. The lefty delivers. This ball is going to get through. Griffey with a single here in the 11th inning. Here's Doug Flynn. And that ball gets away. So Griffey's going to make it to second here with nobody out. Flynn now with a good chance. Let's see what he does. He takes ball 4. So the Reds knocking on the door again. Here's Joe Morgan. Morgan will hit this one deep to left. On the run out there is the left fielder. Leaping catch. Wonderful catch by Acosta. The runner will advance to third, however, but Acosta saved the run. Marito Acosta out there in left field. So runners on the corners. 1 out for Johnny Bench. Let's see if Bench can be a hero again. He takes ball 4. Bases loaded here in the 11th. The Reds on the verge again of breaking it open and taking the lead once more. George Foster, the hitter. Foster hits it to short. Play's going to be made at home. Relay to first. Not in time, but the lead runner is cut down. A huge out there for the Senators. And it comes down to Cesar Geronimo. Boiling delivers. Geronimo lines this one right to the shortstop. McBride is there, and the Senators survive the 11th inning. Oh, a lot of drama in this ball game. This one's lined to second. Morgan's going to make a nice play. Acosta is retired. Here's Howie Shanks. 4-4 tie. Series tied at 2. This one's lined to left field for a single. Eddie Foster now at the plate. Foster lines this one in the right. That's going to head the runner to second. He had to make sure the line drive went through, so it's first and second with 1 out. Winning run on second base for Danny Moeller. Tom Carroll pitching. This ball's hit deep to center field, but heading back there, it looks like with some room, is Geronimo. The runner will advance to third, but they're 2 outs now. And Chick Andil has a chance against Tom Carroll to win it. But he flies it a long way to run in right field by Griffey. He will get there, however, and that will do it. Chances being passed by both teams. We move to the 12th, still tied at 4. Sam Rice has come on the pitch. There's a strikeout. Perez striking out on that pitch. Here's Tom Carroll. 2 outs. Carroll will lift this one to left field, but that's going to be caught. We'll move now bottom of the 12th. The game continues. Tom Carroll pitching to John Henry. This one's hit to third. Rose has got it. He makes the play. Should say Doug Flynn is the man there at third base. Here's Ray Morgan. Morgan takes ball 4 here with 1 out. George McBride at the plate. McBride hits it to third. It gets through. So runners on first and second. The Senators have the winning run on again. Only 1 out. Tom Carroll facing Charlie Jameson. Jameson hits it to second. Morgan makes the play at first. Relay over from second to first. It is a double play. 4-6-3. Joe Morgan and Davey Concepcion turn a beautiful twin killing. And the game moves to the 13th. George DeMott now facing Ken Griffey Sr. Series tied at 2. This one is lined hard in the left field, so Sr. gets aboard. And Doug Flynn at the plate. Flynn will line this one to left, but could be playable here. It will be. Acosta makes the play. Here's Joe Morgan. Morgan hits this one into the gap. That gets down in the left center. Run around in third. He's going to hold up there. It's second and third with only 1 out. Joe Morgan with a double. Griffey holding up at third with less than 2 outs. And Johnny Bench comes up again with the infield in. Here's George Dumont delivering. Ball 4. They pitch around Bench. Bases loaded for Cincinnati. George Foster, the man of the moment. Here's the pitch to Foster. All four inside, and the Reds get a run forced in. It looks like the umpire's making a makeup call from the previous bad call he made in the 10th inning, and now the Reds have taken the lead. It's 5-4. They're not done yet, though. Here's Geronimo. And Geronimo will line a single to left. This is going to score one, maybe two. Here comes throw to the plate. Safe. The Reds have opened up the game, scoring 3 runs here in the 13th inning. What a clutch hit by Geronimo. It's 7-4. We're in the bottom of the 13th now. Howie Shanks at the plate. He takes ball 4, so the Senators coming back in this crazy game. Eddie Foster facing Tom Carroll. This is hit to short. Concepcion makes the relay. Now to Morgan, and it's a double play. Just what the Reds needed. And they're on the verge here, but the tying run has come up in Chick Andil. Carroll's got to get one more out. This is hit to third. Play's going to be made there by Flynn. He goes the short way. And the Big Red Machine has pulled off the win here in game number 5. An improbable game that they've won here. 13 innings of absolute excitement. These are Geronimo fans. 5 for 7 with 2 RBIs. 3 runs scored, and the big hit in the 13th to score 2. Walter Johnson pitched well while he was in there, but he was pulled precariously early, in my opinion. Did not go the distance. It ended up costing the Senators a decision that will be questioned for sure, as the Reds put up 2 in the 9th, and Don Gullett also did not figure in the decision. A big game here. 13 innings of drama. There you see some of the numbers. Geronimo, the big hero there in this game. Tons of pitchers being used. The game was 5.5 hours long. What a marathon. Well worth the wait. But in the end, the Reds take it. And I don't think Cincinnati has been in a fight this fierce. Well, maybe since they faced the Red Sox in that 75 series. But this one has been just as dramatic. But now we go back to Riverfront with the Reds having overcome the obstacle of Walter Johnson. It is Doc Ayers facing Pat Darcy in Game 6. Can the Reds close the door? Can the Reds move on? It's all on the line here in Game 6 as the Senators have been playing hard. Can they survive? Let's head out to Riverfront, or will the Red Machine do what they're supposed to do and close out this series? So we're back at Riverfront. This is Game 6. The Reds hoping to close it out. Pat Darcy is on the mound, and we're in the top of the second with Danny Moeller at the plate. And Moeller's going to hit this one into the corner for a double, maybe more. Moeller with a leadoff double here in the second inning. The Reds have started most of the games in this series well. It's just holding leads that's been a problem. And now Moeller's on third with Ray Morgan up there in 2 outs. And Morgan comes through. A base hit right up the middle. It's 1-0 now, Washington. And we'll move now to the 4th inning. Another tight game. Pete Rose is on second. Johnny Bench at the plate. 2 outs. And this one is through the hole. Bench gets a single. Here comes Rose. Rose is going to tie the game. Pete doesn't even hesitate. It is 1-1 on the Johnny Bench single. Cincinnati evens things up. We move to the 5th. Doc Ayers has been good. Here's Geronimo. Nobody out. And Geronimo will take this down the line. That's a fair ball. Geronimo now into second. He's got a double here to lead off the 5th inning. Geronimo now on third with 1 out, and here's Concepcion with the infield in. Concepcion will line it, fair ball, and the Reds are going to take the lead. Dave Concepcion with an RBI double here in the 5th inning. 2-1 the score now in favor of Cincinnati. Marv Redeman now at the plate. Redeman to line this in the gap. That's going to get down all the way to the wall. Concepcion scores. The parade continues. It's 3-1 Reds. The Red Machine in full force here as they try to close out this series. Top of the sixth now. Pedro Borbon has come on as Anderson's going to use his arms to try to close this one out, but this one's lined past the third baseman. So runners on first and second. 1 out for John Henry. Henry hits it to short. Play's going to be made at second. Relay to first. Double play. Concepcion. Morgan to Perez. And that will do it. The score remains here 4-1. We move to the seventh. It's time. We're now getting close to the end for the Senators. Now or never. George McBride is up there. 1 out. And McBride will loop a single right up the middle. That's going to get through. So first and second, the Senators will bring up the tying run. Doc Ayers against McEnany. Ayers is going to bunt it. McEnany gets to the ball. Throw to first is in time. Runners advance. So 2 outs now for Clyde Milan. But a huge strikeout. Milan strikes out. McEnany got him there, and the game remains 4-1 as we hit the 7th inning stretch. Cincinnati starting to smell it. Here's George Foster now in the 8th inning. 2 outs. Foster will single to right field. Base is loaded now. 2 outs. Dave Concepcion has a chance to open this game up against Engel. Joe Engel on the mound. And Concepcion does line a single to right. Base hit. 2 runs are going to score. And it is 6-1. The Big Red Machine is on its way, it appears. We're into the 9th. Clyde Milan facing Clay Kirby with 2 outs. Fans on their feet. Here's a fly ball. This should be playable. The left fielder has it. Foster makes the catch. The Reds have done it. They win Game 6, 6-1 to defeat the 1915 Senators in what turned out to be an excellently played series. A lot of excitement, but the Reds were just too much, and here's the key. They refused to lose or give up, coming back on a number of their wins. But for this Game 6 performance, it was Pat Darcy who gets the wins. 5 innings of good work with 8 strikeouts. Dave Concepcion had a great all-around series, 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs in this crucial game. What a clutch player Concepcion is. And Doc Ayers, the loser, he gave it his all, but could not hold off the Red Machine in this one. Series is over. The statistics, first looking at the series as a whole, Walter Johnson pitched the shutout in Game 1. Then the teams went back and forth until Game 5, when in 13 innings, it turned out that Cincinnati actually won it 7-4, and Game 6 was a lot easier. It was a 6-1 win to close out the series. Some of the numbers here. Eddie Foster with 4 RBIs. George McBride for the Senators had 7 RBIs and hit .286. Those 2 guys may be the 2 best hitters. John Henry started the series off hot, but cooled off considerably. Walter Johnson with a good 16 innings of work, a great 16 innings of work, you can say. Still shaking our heads a little bit when he was pulled early in his Game 5 effort. A game that the Senators ended up losing. For the Reds, Geronimo 4 RBIs had 10 hits. Griffey 4 RBIs had 10 hits. Dave Concepcion 6 RBIs hit .333 in the series. Pete Rose .320. The Big Red Machine was there when they needed to be. And to everyone's surprise, they did it without the long ball, failing to hit a single home run in the series. They still get the job done. The MVP here has been picked as Ken Griffey Sr. I don't see any reason to argue with it. Senior with a very good series. Both sides of the ball also on the bases. He hit .417, slugged .500, 4 RBIs, had 2 doubles, scored 5 runs. So a good series for Griffey, but in truth, a lot of the Reds played well. I don't think there was one single star that stuck out. But the favorites, the 1975 Cincinnati Reds, a team we expect to see a lot more from, takes the series, a good one at that. In 6, they defeat the 1915 Washington Senators. A lot of excitement in this series, a lot of fun games. Walter Johnson pitched well against one of the best offenses in the league, but it wasn't enough. The favorites move on, but boy, it wasn't easy. But that's why we play the games, to see if the champions can really play like champions, and no doubt the Reds did exactly that in this best-of-7 series. So that'll do it. Out of the Park Baseball 20 is our favorite game, presenting these series for you. Hope you're enjoying, hope you're following, and we will be right back with you very soon for another historical matchup, hopefully one as good as we just had here in Series 106. See you soon.